bring in somebody that's playing some good basketball right now. Al Horford, Hawks center. Hawks have won 14 in a row, and Al joins us here on the show. When did you start being officially a center, Al?
I guess as soon as I got to the NBA.
Did you consider yourself a center when you came out of Florida?
No, I didn't. But I kind of fell into playing that role, and with our system that we have here, the center and the power forward position, they're very interchangeable. So, it's pretty similar. I don't even feel the difference.
Toughest adjustment though to playing the 5 position.
The toughest, it probably has to be just guys have 40, 50 pounds on me, and they're usually 2-3 inches taller, at the least. So that's always the challenge. But it's something that I've embraced and found ways to play to my strengths.
Who's the toughest guy for you to match up physically? Who plays the most physical brand of basketball at the center position?
Probably a tougher guy would be like a guy like Marc Gasol. He's a guy that's very crafty. That's tough to guard down low. There's a number of guys that he's probably the guy that stands out.
Now, you're usually a pretty happy guy, Al. I don't think I've seen you happier than when Kyle Korver dunked last night.
Yeah, man, it was. We've been waiting for that for a while, and everybody knows that Kyle can dunk, but he just never does it in the game. And I got the ball on the break, and I didn't know that it was him that was behind me, so I just made the pass, knowing that I had a teammate there. And then when I thought he was going to lay it up, so when I saw him dunk it, it literally made my night. So I just looked at the bench, and the guys were super happy about it as well. So it was a good feeling.
Does he dunk in practice?
No, never.
But you know that he can do it, right?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, he went and dunked with 2 hands, and he's done plenty of times before, but he just hadn't done it in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, but 2 years ago was the last time he dunked in a game.
Yeah.
So you haven't seen him dunk since then?
No, we haven't seen him dunk. And it's funny. After the game, Dennis Schroeder, one of our young guys, comes up to him and goes like, "Is that your first career dunk?" And Kyle just looked at him. He's like, "Come on, man. Are you serious?" I think he was kind of offended by it.
Yeah, he's been playing, 8-9 years, if not longer, right?
Yeah. Kyle's been playing, at least, about 9-10. I mean, maybe a little longer, but it was pretty funny.
Talking to Al Horford, Atlanta Hawks center. Hawks have won 14 in a row now. Al, when you're in training camp, did you see this type of start coming for this team?
I knew that we were gonna have a chance to do some special things. If you're talking about the record, I didn't envision it. I didn't really put a number on it, but I was very encouraged to see how good of a team we had. And I was telling people before we started, I was like, you guys, I hope you guys jump on the bandwagon early, because I have a good feeling about what we have here. Just how hard the guys were working, how committed they were to being better. So I'm happy to see that we're having some success.
Yeah, I mean, one of the stories coming into the season was, would you guys be distracted by all the things happening in the offseason? Obviously, I'm talking about the comments made by your owner, the comments made publicly by Danny Ferry. I mean, was that stuff a distraction for this team in training camp?
Not at all. It's one of those things that that was unfortunate that happened, but we have a group of veteran guys that that understood what we had at hand, and we didn't want to really get caught up in things that we couldn't control. So our whole thing was we're going to focus on playing basketball, keep training. We're not going to let this mess our season up.
Has the relationship between the team and the community changed this year as opposed to previous years?
If anything, I feel like we've grown stronger. I feel like people here, not only Atlanta, but just, Georgia in general, I feel like people are starting to embrace our team. And it was even before, that we started, with all this winning. Obviously, the winning helps now, but I feel like our community has grown tighter.
Have you noticed some uneasiness when it comes to the team from maybe members of the black community?
I haven't, no. I haven't at all. I feel like people here are kind of ready to move on, and they're just excited with what we have going on as a team right now.
Danny Ferry, your GM, is on a leave of absence right now. Nobody's really sure if or when he's going to come back. As a team, do you believe your team would welcome him back?
Yes. Danny made a mistake, but we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't see why not.
Talking to Al Horford, Atlanta Hawks center here on the Dan Patrick Show. How many All-Stars are on your team?
It's a great question, man. I feel like we have a strong case for for our starting five. I mean, I feel like guys do so many different things. Obviously, I know that's not realistic, but I do feel that, if there's 2, 3, even 4 that get picked, I mean, that will be it. We're not really too concerned about it, but guys we're playing at a high level right now.
Would it be cooler to you if you had no All-Stars?
No, I mean, I definitely think, the way that Jeff Teague has been playing, I mean, he has to be there.
Plays a tough position, though, Al.
It is. You're right about that. It's a tough position, but we have a strong argument. We have the best record in the NBA, in the East. Sorry, and Jeff is leading us. And I understand there's other point guards out there, but the way the All-Star games are played, I mean, it's guard driven. So I mean, he should be in there.
You guys talking about the Patriots story?
You know what? No, but I did just see Bill Belichick, make his declarations and all that stuff. So
if you could deflate the basketball, would you do it?
No.
Wouldn't help you? Maybe to palm it a little easier? I don't know. In the post?
Not for us. I mean, dribbling, we would struggle a little bit.
Is there some type of gamesmanship that goes on from home teams, whether it is how you're treated in the locker room or what happens out there on the floor on your bench that you see during the season that, a little bit of gamesmanship from home teams against you?
You know what? Maybe before the games, like when we go to cold cities, they won't have, like, we go to morning shoot on like at 10 in the morning and it's like an ice box in there. They don't have like the heaters going or anything, and we're out there just freezing. And I'm not going to name cities, but you know who you are.
Oh, I'll name it for. I think I was at one of those shoot-arounds with you, Al, in Philadelphia about a week or so.
Yeah, that was one of them. But yeah, definitely. I mean, so something small as that, but I mean, it's not that big a deal. Before
I let you go, talking to Al Horford, Atlanta Hawks center here on the Dan Patrick Show, I'm fascinated by the Mike Budenholzer story only because he was such a quality assistant on the Spurs staff for so long, and he's just now getting his first head coaching gig. You've had a lot of coaches in your 8 years in Atlanta. What's the difference with Mike as opposed to maybe other coaches around the league?
I think that Coach Bud is just he's really a team guy. He's a straight shooter with you, and I just feel like he just demands that respect from all of his players. He can be understanding, but at the same time, he gets after you pretty good, and it's something that you appreciate as a player. For him to have kind of both sides like that, but so we're very lucky to have him here in Atlanta.
Good to visit with you, Al. Best of luck in the All-Star selection process. I'm sure you and others on the team deserve it, and best of luck along the way.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me.
That's Al Horford, Atlanta Hawks center.